Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Corner. It is that time of day again. It's time for Andy's HVAC tech tips of the day. Today's tech tip, I just wanted to talk a little bit about parts. Parts that we come across, the parts and pieces that may be in a furnace, an air conditioner, a geo, a rooftop unit, or a piece of refrigeration equipment. Whatever it is or whatever it may be, whenever you are presenting those to your homeowner, you want to make sure you use the correct terminology, because I've always been a big believer that a part is never bad. I hate that word bad. Your HSI is bad. Your inducer is bad. To me, you don't sound very professional. Let's say you go to a house and you look at a furnace and you find that the inducer assembly is failing. So you take that inducer assembly off, you take it up to them and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Homeowner, your inducer assembly is bad. So, what does that really mean? I mean, some homeowners, they don't care. But a lot of them are going to say, well, why or how? What's wrong with it? You better be able to explain that, because, I've always been the type that believes that a part is never bad. It's always failed in a very specific way. Because a lot of the parts that we deal with, or a good majority of the parts that we deal with, they could actually fail in a multiple of different ways. I mean, take that inducer assembly, for instance. You could have problems with the motor. Okay, well, if you got problems with the motor itself, you could have electrical problems with it. You could have short in the windings, open windings, something like that in the windings themselves. So that's an electrical problem, right? Or you could have bearing issues. Maybe the motor has bearing problems internally, or maybe the inducer wheel is broke, or it rusted and corroded away on some of the old ones, or maybe they're plastic like the new ones and it broke. That's a mechanical failure. So you could have multiple mechanical failures, or you could have multiple electrical failures on that unit. So, at that point, that one little bitty part in there is never just bad. It is failed in a very specific way. And I've always been a big believer in that. And I wish our industry, and actually a lot of service industries, would quit using the term bad. Because if it's bad, I mean, what does that mean? I mean, does it mean that the part doesn't work anymore? Does it mean that it's misbehaved and needs to have a timeout? I mean, what the hell does bad even mean? That's not really a symptom or a description of a part that is having a problem with it. They are always failed in a very specific way. And I like I said, I just wish that we would use better terminology. Because for one, I mean, especially in our industry, in the HVAC industry, years ago, it had always been that, the furnace man was always that greasy, dirty guy that was chasing soot out of a chimney with a brush. And I mean, even if that was a thing years ago, that definitely isn't what it is now. I mean, we work in one of those trades that, we have those negative connotations to it, or as far as the trade of what we do. And so, why would we use terminology that makes us look like what people think of us? I mean, I think there's better things that we can say, better words that we can use, better appearances, better things that we can do with our actions to prove to people that, the furnace man isn't some dirty guy chasing, soot up a chimney. I mean, which, if you're one of those guys out there that's chasing soot up a chimney, hey, good power to you. I'm not into that. So I don't like soot at all, which we do come across it once in a while. So granted, we are the dirty fingered furnace guys once in a while. I know we are. But my biggest thing is, we need to present ourselves in a way that we sound intelligent, that we sound like we know what we're talking about and what we're doing. So, that's why I say it over and over again. And I know I've said it a bunch of times in this video, but you should hear me at work with all the guys. A part is never bad. It's always failed in a very specific way. And it is your job to find out what that specific way it's failed in and why. If a part is failed in a specific way, well, maybe there was a reason for it. Maybe it just got old, the bearings are worn, and they gave up. Okay, age, deterioration, that's an option. But maybe there's something else that was causing it. Maybe there was something else that led up to this problem. And if there is, then it's our job to find the culprit that caused this failure and then fix that so we don't ruin the new part. So it's just, to me, common sense, but, it's one of those things that, we have certain words, phrases, and actions that we do in our industry that sometimes I think we need to change a little bit. So, it's not hard to change your words. It took me a long time to start using the word failed rather than bad. I know it's one simple word, but I mean, it goes a long ways. So that's all I wanted to say today. I know it's a quick, simple video, but that was one of my tech tips for any kind of beginners or even the old guys out there, because I even know some old guys, and I use it myself sometimes too, but bad is not an option for a failed part. It has always failed in a very specific way. So if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, like, share as often as possible. Make sure you get these videos out so somebody else maybe wants to see it, and maybe they have the opportunity that way. So it's always hard to find ways to get your videos out there for, you know, people to see, get new viewers to watch, or new subscribers, things like that. So, you know, for all you that do watch them regularly, I thank you so much for watching them. But I do also ask if you do me a favor and share this with somebody. That way more people out there can see it. So like I said, share and subscribe as much as possible. Thank you and God bless.